Trump finally issued the travel ban that I've been dreading. On June 5th, 2025, an executive order was issued going into effect on June 9th at 12:01 a.m. that restricts people from entering from certain countries and partially restricts people from other countries. So I have my laptop out in front of me. Countries that are subject to a full travel ban. There are 12 countries: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Republic of Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. So people from these countries are entirely prohibited under all visa classifications, but there are some exceptions that we'll get to. And then countries that face partial restrictions. There are 7 countries that face limitations primarily on immigrant visas and certain non-immigrant visas. These countries are Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela. The first thing that everyone's gonna wonder is, what are the exceptions here? The exceptions are lawful permanent residents. So if you have a green card, you could still enter the US. That's pretty clearly established law. Individuals with valid visas as of June 9th, 2025. So if you already had a visa, you could probably continue to enter the US. Diplomats, athletes participating in major international sporting events. I mean, I think the US wants to do the World Cup here, and a lot of the countries are on the travel ban list, so that makes sense. And then immediate family members with verifiable relationships. This is an interesting one because it departs substantially from Trump's first term, where he instituted several different versions of travel bans. And in the first iterations of the travel bans, I recall specifically that immediate family members were still being subject to just substantial delays, and their case would get lost in a black hole, and they wouldn't really be able to enter unless they tried to sue the government. So that's an interesting change. Immediate family member refers to spouses of US citizens with a verifiable relationship, so you're probably going to be subject to some increased scrutiny to make sure that you're actually in a good faith marriage to a US citizen. Additionally, children of US citizens and parents of US citizens, where the child is over the age of 21 and a US citizen. So these are immediate relative family petition categories that are supposed to be exempt from these travel bans. So that's good news. Additionally, people who are subject to the travel bans can apply for waivers, a case-by-case exemption from the travel ban. So to qualify for a waiver, you must demonstrate that your entry is in the national interest and that denial would cause undue hardship. We'll see how this actually plays out. The process is going to require substantial documentation and it's going to be subject to really high levels of scrutiny. I'm interested in seeing examples where people successfully got a waiver and were found to be exempt from the travel ban. As soon as I learn about those specific exemptions, I'll be sure to report back to you guys, create a video on those specific topics. What do you do now? If you have an immediate relative family member and you're in the middle of the immigration process, hopefully that process will not be affected. I'll let you know in upcoming videos if there's something that leads me to believe that that process is being affected even for immediate family members. If you have a preference family petition, so you're a permanent resident petition for your spouse, well, in that case specifically, the remedy might be to become a US citizen as soon as possible so that it converts from a preference category petition to an immediate relative category petition. Or otherwise, we might want to explore seeking an exemption from the travel ban altogether. Other preference category petitions can include siblings of US citizens, children of permanent residents, permanent residents petitioning for adult sons and daughters, US citizens petitioning for adult sons and daughters, basically everything other than US citizen spouse, US citizen petitioning for their child, or US citizen petitioning for their parent. Every other category of petition is considered a preference category petition. These categories probably will be subject to the travel ban, so if you're in the middle of that process, you'll only get so far. Usually after the interview, your case will just be subject to administrative processing and there won't be a final decision made on the case. until you seek an exemption or you sue the government under some sort of provision, probably in a mandamus to compel action. If you have any specific questions about the travel ban and you want to speak to an immigration attorney, or it's unrelated to the travel ban and you're going through some sort of family-based immigration or naturalization process, those are things that I focus on. You could schedule a consultation directly with me. My information is in the video description below. If you're interested in learning more about family-based immigration, naturalization, changes to policies under the Trump administration, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I try to put out a couple of videos each week, and I'll see you guys next time for another video.